my voice is going already. Good morning, good
Hi.
afternoon, good evening, and good night. Depending on where in the world you might be watching us from. Welcome back to the Code Crown Podcast, Mini. And,
Mini.
we are back with chapter 1-2 of Digimon Seekers. Kind of a boring chapter.
Yeah, that's because it's only part of a chapter, so there's not much going on here because they've just cut out some paragraphs of a full chapter.
Yeah, and I feel like this is where we talked about it quite a bit yesterday, where others will just be doing the readings of this, and I feel like this is one of those segments where it's like, yeah, to really sort of pull any content from this, you sort of have to be reading it.
Yeah, like it's mostly descriptions.
Yeah, like it talks about Tokyo Yume Universe. Wait, no, that was Ace Attorney. But it talks about a university anyway. The exact name is
Tokyo University of Electrical and Computer Engineering.
Yeah, that's the one.
TUECE.
That's not a mouthful at all. Can we just call it Tokyo Usi? Wait, no, maybe not Usi. That means something else. So yeah, but welcome back to the podcast. My name is AJ. I am, of course, joined along as always by my co-host, Miss Megmon.
Hi.
And this is, yeah, as we mentioned, chapter 1-2 of Digimon Seekers. Eiji's looking for a job, and it was pointed out in the premiere in the chat last night. A factor we kind of glossed over was that Eiji is 19.
Yeah.
So last year would have been he'd have still been in school.
Yeah, like that can depend though. I know like age is different for certain things. So, but then again, this is Japan in the future.
Yeah, well,
so it might be different. I don't know, but I know sometimes.
If they follow, I think they follow they don't have a secondary school the way we do. They follow the American sort of junior high, middle school, high school. So I mean, yeah, you'd probably be graduated and out of school at 18.
Yeah, although I've seen. Maybe it's just in movies.
Probably.
I don't know, but sometimes the students are still only 19. And then kind of that's when they're leaving. So, but then again, it depends on your age and if you were kept back or anything like that, I suppose. But, does Japan have the same aging system that Korea does?
Well, minimum age is 16. To have graduated from high school and be 18 years or older when you graduate from the language school.
That is to get into university in Japan.
Yep, which he's doing because he's looking to get into this this hyper university of electronics.
He's
well,
he's not. He's gone to the building next door. That's the next description.
You're ruining my look. Just be wrong, okay? Take the L. Just take the L. But anyway, yeah, so the point is he's graduated.
Yeah. Like I'll concede on that part, obviously. But he's not going to the university, he's going to the building next door.
Yeah. Students must have completed 12 years of elementary and secondary education before applying to university in Japan. Interesting. Yeah, so 17 to 18 is 12th grade. So that is how that works. 12 more rows. So year 13 of school, basically.
Yeah.
In our
from age 3 to 4.
Yeah, so from 3 to 4 you go through nursery, reception, or pre-kindergarten. Oh yeah. So well, I was doing it by our equivalent. So from 3 to 6, basically, you're in kindergarten in Japan,
which is great.
And then you go to elementary school from 6 till 12. Then 12 to 15 is junior high school, and then 15 to 18 is high school.
Yeah.
So you're finishing high school at about 18.
I like that they don't go to. I like that they're in kindergarten until they're 6, because a lot of children aren't ready for school until they're about 6. But
Yeah.
we just slap them in there at 4 because there's nowhere else to put them. That's literally it. They're out of play school at whatever age, and then they're just slapped into junior infants.
Yeah.
You don't have to legally send your child to school until they're 6.
Yeah, well, that's.
But there's nowhere else to put them if you want to work, or if you can't afford a childminder. So they go into first babies. But anyway. So he has graduated, and he's gone to this place next door to the university.
Yeah, okay, fine. So he's gone to
Abaddon.
Abaddon? 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 I feel like Abaddon is a thing.
Abaddon. I feel like we have to listen to the Japanese pronunciation.
Well, we can listen to Gamamon's voice actress later. But okay. So Abaddon is also a
place in Spain.
A place in Spain, yeah, in the province of Lugo, Galicia. Lugo. Oh. No. I doubt. So I'm thinking of Abaddon, Spain, clearly. So I was like, I know that name from something. That's I know.
Well, Abaddon is a demon. Abaddon.
Abaddon? As in Abadomon?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Abaddon. Yeah,
that wasn't what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the place in Spain. I was like, I've heard that as a location before.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so the chapter basically opens up telling you about this university and how it's basically like, it's the kids of the scientists of tomorrow, and those who will push technology to its next level will go there and whatever. And even though it's new, it has the best research, and it's responsible for great strides in engineering, and
then you're more likely to get a job in tech or science or whatever in global companies if you go there.
Yeah. And then just adjacent to the Denrin campus of this university is Abaddon Electronics Corporation, who are basically Apple.
Electronic terminals, network equipment, and fabless
semiconductor. Okay, maybe not Apple. But anyway, but electronic terminals would just be input devices, obviously. Yeah, but
they're more. I don't want to say industrial than Apple, but it doesn't seem like it's a lot of personal use stuff.
No, it does seem like it's all. Yeah. It's the means to make the networks. So you've got your networking equipment, you've got your semiconductors, and then your input terminals and things like that. So
and they're called AE.
AE.
Thankfully not EA.
Yeah, but they've also got a digital lab that's called DDL for some reason.
It should be AEDL.
Yeah.
But it's DDL.
DDL.
For some strange reason.
The Digital Lab.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I don't know why it's not just called. I don't know why their Digilab isn't just DL or Digilab, because that would be it. Because we were talking about Cyber Sleuth before.
Yeah.
Mirai's TARDIS is called the Digilab.
Yeah.
Or DL for short.
Yeah, it's weird that they added the extra D, and I thought maybe it's because of the Denrin campus.
Oh, maybe the Denrin Digital Lab, because it's next to that campus.
Next to that, but it doesn't explain that.
It doesn't explain. Yeah, so
it's a digital lab.
So AG goes to this electronics company. The first floor is just very simple.
Exactly what you'd imagine.
Yeah.
Just a reception desk and a big screen with nice pictures on it.
Yeah, it's like the it's like the reception area for in Somnium Files for the
God. Just big screens.
What is that company called? What is ASET's company called again?
Oh.
I'm like, no, Okiura was the fishery.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but her dad still owned it. Or Mizuki's dad.
What was Mizuki's surname?
Lemniscate.
Lemniscate.
That's the yeah. So it's like the Lemniscate lobby. That's what I imagine reading this.
Yeah.
So it's got like images of like forests and prairies and seas and mountains.
Yeah, and tech companies would normally do that. Like we're, advancing things so we can, preserve this and
yeah, we're cutting down the rainforest so we can save it.
Yeah. They always show off like nature in their ads and stuff.
Yeah.
Like yeah, this is a normal tech company building.
Mm.
That's it really.
Yeah.
And AG, fun fact, Google Translate changes his name to just Age.
I've noticed that. So there's a line coming up that we'll talk about when we get there, but we should note that machine translation has been taken off the websites. It now just says translation on mobile devices. So I think
except in chapter 1.
Except in chapter 1, they haven't quite gone.
It still says translated by machine on chapter 1.
Yeah, they haven't gone back and taken it out, but like it seems like for the subsequent chapters we've shamed them into.
Yeah, they're trying to pretend it's not machine translated, but we can tell by reading it.
Yeah. And like as I was scrolling through the chapter when it first released earlier today, because I had a bit of downtime at work, I was just scrolling through it. The lines of text were updating as I was scrolling.
Yeah.
So the lines of text were outright saying something else and then updating to a quote-unquote more correct.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Onke-kun, who has been, one of the, like, an absolute treasure in the Digimon fandom as long as I've been in it on the internet, Onke-kun put out a translation of 1-1 that is a lot more readable.
Maybe we'll read the whole chapter together.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the week.
Maybe.
Well, not even do a reading, but read the differences between the fan translation and the current one or something.
Yeah, what we were talking about yesterday, we basically got what the machine was trying to say.
Yeah.
So, victory for us, I guess. But yeah, it's still just like, fans are once again fixing Bandai's laziness.
Yep.
And I hate it. It shouldn't be up to the fans to, this nearly 30-year-old franchise shouldn't still be, relying on its fandom to fix its laziness.
Yeah, and relying on machine translations when they have translators working for them.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, if you look at the card game, those translators aren't doing a great job either.
This is true.
What was it?
But like, who's
70% or 80% of EX3 is just wrong?
Yeah. But like, they have translators working on the dubs. Like, pull them in for a next bit of overtime, or
I don't think they do. I think those are outsourced.
Yeah.
All about cost cutting.
Outsource it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to translate something from, like, there's so many people that would do it.
Yeah.
Or go to the person who's been the outstanding translator in the whole Digimon.
Whoever, like,
fandom.
Fuck it, just
and pay them.
Just team up with Crunchyroll. They're already subbing all of your shows.
Yeah.
Just team up with Crunchyroll. Just let them do it.
Make a little partnership there and let them do the work.
Yeah. But again, I think that feeds back into what we were saying yesterday about diverting traffic, because they don't want you going. I mean, you could just still host it, but it's obviously, I can't imagine how much cheaper it is, but there is definitely a cost-cutting measure involved when there is just one web page for people to go to, and AI will try and fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Rather than going, go here for the English translation, go here for the Chinese translation, go here for the Japanese version.
Yeah, but like, I don't think Wikipedia is machine translated when you flip between languages.
Oh no.
So they could do the same thing. When you click on English, it just has an English translation.
Yeah, because they've Wikipedia. I know Wikipedia. Every time it feels like every time I visit Wikipedia lately, I'm getting an ad for, oh, we're on the verge of dying. Please
Yeah.
donate donate €1 or whatever. But they have. I'm sure they have paid for professionals to make sure that website works globally,
Yeah.
rather than just going, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because it's a information website. That's its purpose. It can't have wrong information because of a bad translation.
No. But
That's
anyway,
what we're getting here.
that's what we're getting here. So this lab is the Digital Lab's a research facility. AE's headquarters is elsewhere. That sounds ominous.
Yeah,
Like,
Google Translate said their headquarters are a lie.
their headquarters are a lie. What is it? Made of cake?
Enough typos in here.
Yeah, so it's got curved walls. But something about, like, there's no company logo or any signage on the inside.
Yeah, like it says, people might think it's to do with the university next door.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're trying to do that, like just blend in with the university.
And that might be why it's DDL, like we were saying earlier. It might be the Denrin Digital Lab. But like it's kind of, but that kind of goes against like the illustration we have for this, where the company's logo is like right there. But and this is inside the lobby as well, I think, based on...
Yeah, it is, because those 3 globe things are in the lobby.
Yeah, but then again, you're looking at these windows and it looks like all the benches and chairs are...
And the sign is on the inside of the building, from what I can see.
Yeah, but like those chairs and benches and stuff, they all look like you're passing an office building from the outside.
Yeah.
So, which is it?
I don't know. The way they described it anyway, those 3 things on the image. Should we put up the image?
Yeah, I'll pop it up now. I didn't want to pop it up until we got to this section of the story, but...
Yeah, well, we're there now.
Well, we're kind of, sort of. But yeah, like it's... They say that the company had, like, there's no logos or signage, but if you look at the illustration for this chapter, we only got one today, which is like, I'm like, oh, already we're like losing content.
Nothing in this chapter. So.
Yeah, that's fair. I would have liked to see Ag and the receptionist. I want to see Hatsune.
Like they're saying she has a cute voice and she has whatever, and I'm like, shows a picture.
Yeah, like, see, look, there's the signage, and I can't tell from here if that's meant to be inside or outside the building. I think it's meant to be outside because they're traveling to this other lab when he's doing this stuff.
Yeah, but no, that's inside
the lab within the lab.
Yeah, they're inside that building. So...
Oh, look, we'll look at it again when we get there. But anyway, it's just the point is there is clearly a logo for this company.
Yeah.
Why is the story saying there's no signage?
Yeah.
Then.
What about AG then? Usual clothes.
Yeah. Like so AG's looking at himself in the reflection of the glass on the building. Casual attire is apparently allowed at this lab, so you don't have to be dressed like in a suit or a lab coat or anything. It's just your casual attire was fine, which again sort of contradicts something that we're going to come across like in a couple of moments. But
yeah.
But anyway, he's in his casual gear, and the people who work at this lab are meant to be the elite. So a freelancer with a high school diploma would be out of place. But he goes in anyway because he's got a job to do.
Yeah. He's here to work.
Yeah, because he's here to work, which is on his his whole cracker fang thing.
Yeah. It's weird though, because he was looking for a part-time job in the last chapter.
Yeah.
But this doesn't seem to be like a legitimate him looking for a part-time job. Like he's been hired from his search yesterday.
Yeah.
It just seems like
he's got white hat shit to do. Yeah, he's got yeah. So he waltzes in and hello there.
General Kenobi.
Yeah. Hello there. he, and it's so the receptionist just sort of the receptionist is like immediately suspicious of him, and I kind of from the little descriptors we get of the receptionist, I kind of like her already.
Yeah, but it
Like she's just not sure what to make of AG at all. I mean,
yeah, she probably thinks he's younger than he is because of the way he's dressed.
yeah. But I love that, like, I love the commentary that, like, because he's not wearing a square backpack, he's clearly not a food delivery driver or
Yeah.
something. She's like, wait, oh, are you here for one of the Oh, wait, no, you're not an Uber Eats or
Yeah.
or a Just Eat or wait, no, what is it called in the States? DoorDash?
DoorDash, Grubhub. I think Grubhub is Just Eat.
Oh, okay.
I think DoorDash is something else.
Right. Okay, Grubhub. No square backpack, so you're not here for food. Why are you here, suspicious child?
Yeah.
So, she thinks maybe he's just a college student that's gotten lost, but he tells her he has an appointment, and then he puts his hacker name into the tablet.
Yeah, he's like trying to put his information in to bring up his appointment to show he's allowed in or whatever.
Yeah.
And
then she's like, "Please use your real name."
Imagine that turning around that tablet when he's like, "Oh, it won't work," and you're like, "That's not a name." Cracker Fang.
Yeah.
What? That's what she's like. Is that a stage name?
Yeah. Are you in show business? Are you a writer? Is that some sort of alias? So I do. I like I like the receptionist because she's just so. What is going on?
Yeah. No, there is a problem here as well. Because is that your real name? I tend to use an alias so when at work. That should be 2 different sentences because 2 different people are saying those.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Like that.
That reads as if he asks himself, "Is that your name?"
Yeah, yeah. I'll just before we touch on that though, like when he's like wandering into the lobby of this lab, and he's sort of looking around and he's looking at the guards.
Yeah.
There's this line where he's like, "Jesus, this was the States; they'd all be carrying guns."
That's just throwing a little bit of shade there.
Yeah, just random shade at no, I know he's in a
our giant tech companies that are probably government run don't need weapons to protect them.
Yeah, like I get what he's trying to say. Like this big place is, as you say, like this possibly government funded facility, has incredible trade secrets. And if this were the States, they'd all be carrying guns. It's just out of nowhere. It's just a random shade on America's gun problem. Well, maybe not that, but
Yeah.
But anyway,
they just wanted to show that in 20 XDX that America still uses guns like that.
Yeah. So she says, so he puts his Cracker Fang name into the thing, and the receptionist asks, "Is that your real name?" AG responds with, "I tend to use an alias when at work." Now, the translation here doesn't separate those 2 sentences, so it all looks like, "Is that your real name? I tend to use an alias when at work."
That makes him sound.
So is that like that, or it's that, or the receptionist is like, "Is that your real name? Use your alias." Like, did she think Fang is his name, and she's telling him to use?
Probably.
No, I know. No, I know.
Yeah.
But what I mean is the way the sentence reads is like.
It just reads as a mistake to me.
Yeah.
I can't read it as anything else.
Okay. Anyway, so then, so he says, I use an alias when at work, and then it's the whole thing about like, is he in? She asks, "Are you in show business or a writer?" And he's like, "Neither." And then we go on, like AG, like most code crackers, uses his street name when at work, and she's just, "Yeah, please use your real name." And then so he gives her his real name, and then he's like, is phone number,
appointment time, and reason for the meeting enough.
Yeah, Hatsune.
He gets very.
He
very familiar all of a sudden.
Yeah, and she calls him out on it. He's like, "Don't get all casual with me." Okay, Hatsune. So he's got a bit of a cheeky element to him, and she just grumbles under her breath at him.
I wonder how he says that in the Japanese. Actually, we should have listened to that. Like, is he calling her like Hatsune-chan or
Oh,
something.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, or well, I mean, if she's well, it probably is Chan. Um, well,
Like
not
if he's being cheeky,
if he's
it's gonna be
being
something like
if
that.
he's
Yeah.
being cheeky, probably. But I'm trying to think, like, technically, she outranks him, so it should be San.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is meant
And
to be
she's a
like,
stranger, so it should be.
yeah,
So it's
yeah. So I think it's meant to be so he gives his real name and is like, is the phone number, the appointment time, and the reason for the meeting enough? Hatsune-chan. And he just glances at the nameplate and he's like, don't get all casual with me. Okay, Hatsune-chan. And a little smirky, he's got a cheeky rapscallion element to him.
yeah, that's how it reads.
Yeah, I think like this we're meant to find this endearing. I
Yeah.
think this is what I could go either way on it.
Yeah.
But she gets all flustered and she just like, if you're
Flustered
here
in an angry way.
Oh,
not
yeah.
in a, oh, he's flirting with me.
No,
kind of
no,
way.
like very
In a,
like
excuse me.
yeah, very like, oh my brat.
Twitched her temples.
She's
Or she's
twitching.
got a vein going.
And
You know?
that's such a weird line.
Yeah,
Like,
I just want to twitch a temple.
how do you how do you twitch your temples?
But it's probably like a.
Oh
like
yeah,
eye
she's
twitch
just scoffing.
kinda,
Yeah, she's just scoffing at him. And like because he doubled up on the cheekiness, as you say, like it's just probably more of like an eye twitch than
Yeah. See the vein popping in her head kind of way.
yeah, that anime like like the angry thing where it's like the four curvy things.
The four corners, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a POW mark or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So she's like, if you're here on business, just put your company's name here. And he's like, I don't have a company yet. Yeah. Hatsune is great.
She's just looking at him like, you're really not supposed to be here, are you?
No, like I was already suspicious of you walking in the door, and now you've just proved you're not meant to be here, which is great. And then he's like, oh no, well, my occupation is, and then he starts thinking about the person he's actually here for. And so he takes out his phone and he sends a text to Tomonori Ryusenji, professor. So tapping the address, he sends an I'm here. So I guess an email rather than a text.
It's probably an email. In Japan, they use phones for email more so.
Did I? Oh, okay.
Email is really big in Japan still.
Well, I mean, they use
and stuff.
Okay, like I know fax machines are still a thing over.
Yeah,
me over there,
but like as far as I'm aware, the smartphones over there are more like you'd have more of a basic phone for like your email and stuff, and then your smartphone is something else.
Oh.
So it was like I had a Japanese friend telling me that before, but that was like it could be changed now. But yeah,
you would think as technology marches on, these things would just amalgamate into a single device.
Yeah, like I could have now, and it could, but it probably depends on what email they use, or I don't know what. Like I know Weibo is the Chinese one. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Weibo?
Yeah. I don't know what the Japanese equivalent to that would be.
Right.
It could have developed into Line now. I don't know, but yeah, I'm under the impression he more than likely, because it says tapping the address.
Yeah, so he sent
rather than the number.
Yeah, so he sent Ryusenji an email anyway.
He does the millennial thing in texts that he's outside instead of ringing the doorbell. But yeah, he just kind of, it's like he just turns away from her and goes, "Ugh, what?"
Pesky millennials.
It's like he just turns away from her, like, "Oh, this is too complicated. I'm just gonna text him."
Yeah. So he notes that like everyone else there has like guest passes, and they all look like they look more like academics than businessmen. And then he looks into the center of the lobby, where there are 3 spheres floating in the air. Now I've left this image up as we've gone. So these 3 spheres are these ones here with the data, virus, and vaccine notations in them.
Yeah, I had forgotten what vaccine. Well, I was trying to figure out what VA stood for. I could not remember vaccine for some reason when I was reading it. So good to know.
Yeah. Okay. Each sphere has a distinctive mark engraved on it, so obviously those are those. And then he's like, were those here before? He looks at them closer. He's like, this three-dimensional image is a HoloLies?
A HoloLive?
No, HoloLies. Like, is that meant to be like a portmanteau of like a hologram realize, like app realize?
Yeah.
Not
well, materialize.
Materialize,
maybe.
yeah. Well, that's where that comes from, because Savers also has a realize mechanic. The Digimon live in the Tamer's Digivices, and then when they're needed for battle, it's like Lalamon realize, and then she comes out.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's been a thing.
So yeah, I think that's what that word is trying to be.
Yeah. And then there's just this, and then suddenly, hey Fang. A voice calls out his code cracker. Now I'm never gonna get over that terminology.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's correct because
and if they don't use cracker as well, like, or if they don't use code in it, they just call them crackers. You know?
Oh, it's funnier.
It's so awkward.
Yeah. So anyway, so someone calls out to him. He's a tall person. Slightly
shorter than me.
But anyway, but he's described as chiseled with a bit of grey and a slight Caucasian look to him.
Go back to the image for a sec. Yeah, he could be an American character in an anime.
Yeah. The person playing him in the live action version is just like, doesn't give that impression at all.
No, he looks like that guy who plays a cop and everything.
Oh yeah.
I never remember that man's name, but he was in The Grudge and everything in the American versions. But he's always a cop.
Is that the guy from Detective Pikachu? He's also a cop. He has the snubble.
No.
Okay.
No.
Because he is also just a cop and everything.
Yeah. Oh Christ, who was that? It's not Donnie Yen. It's
no, definitely not Donnie Yen.
Oh, it's
clearly not.
I know him and I love him, but his name won't come out of my head for now.
Won't come into your head, you mean?
No, it's in there. I just can't find it.
Anyway, so he meets AG meets this older man, and he's like, so this is Professor Ryusenji. So we learn that the professor is one of the co-founders of Aberdeen Electronics. The translation changes. Aberdeen.
Yeah.
This translation's
Abaddon,
this translation's a burden.
Or a bad
or a bad translation.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's one of the co-founders of Abaddon Electronics. He owns more than 20% of the shares, which has a market capital of more than $100 billion. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Is he Ken Watanabe?
That's the one.
I haven't found him yet. Is that him?
Yeah, Ken Watanabe. Now that you've said it, I'm like, yes, that's exactly who I meant. And I still don't know who you meant, but yeah.
Oh no, the guy I meant.
But so this the professor is the boss of Ryusenji Laboratory, which is apparently well known in the industry, and is currently a professor emeritus at the Tokyo University of Electrical and Computer Engineering.
Ryo Ishibashi.
Oh, him.
He's always.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know his face. Yeah.
He's Von Karma.
He is Von Karma. Oh my God, he is Von Karma. Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I know his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what the guy reminded me of in the. He probably looks nothing like him, but that's what he reminded me of.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah, that's fair. Anyway, where was I? So this again, this is all reading very weird. So Professor Ryusenji is one of the co-founders of Abaddon Electronics, not Aberdeen Electronics, like the translation has turned it into. He has a market capital of 100 billion thanks to his shares in the company. He's the boss of the Ryusenji laboratory, which is apparently well known in the industry. And
he's also a professor at the Tokyo University, the USI.
Yeah, he's a professor at Tokyo USI, and as one of the top executives in the company, he's built it into a world-class company in the past 10 to 20 years.
But here he is hanging out with a freelance
hacker,
code
cracker.
Although
but then he does go on to say, "This is my first time meeting Cracker Fang," but it certainly doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, so they have talked.
Yeah, which I imagine their chat has been over the internet.
Yeah.
You know,
So it is kind of the part-time job he was looking for, but it seems like it's more on the down low.
Oh yeah.
Though he's gotten like he's bringing him to the company, like not a secret location or something.
So and then I suppose you could call him a man above the clouds. What?
I don't know.
Anyway, we learn that like in normal circumstances, Ryusenji is not a person with whom AG would feel at ease. Because they're always talking over voicemail. AG.
I think it might be. Sorry for interrupting. Because he's probably like a person of authority. Like he's a professor and he's a whatever.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. So like AG wouldn't normally be at ease around somebody who commands such a sort of respect, if you will. But we learn that like they're always talking over voicemail. So AG introduces himself again, and the professor is like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna bring you to this other lab. But let's get you a guest pass first, so I can bring you around Abaddon Electronics." The receptionist is still like, what is going on? Like that this is like, from her point of view, this suspicious kid has just been so casually invited to speak with the de facto boss of the Japanese Abaddon Electronics that she is more nervous and suspicious of AG. It just in general.
It sounds like she's a bit suspicious of her boss and his dealings now.
Yeah,
as well, because like, what's he doing with this kid?
Yeah, because he the way the translation reads is like, this suspicious kid has so casually invited the de facto boss of Japan. So yeah, and that's fair. Like he got sick of her and went email, and he came running.
Yeah,
he came to collect Ryusenji came to collect AG from an email. So she's like, what is going on? What is my boss doing?
Yeah, that's another translation issue there as well. Like the kid turned around and just texted the boss, so he casually invited him.
Yeah.
But it also can read as he's been so casually invited by the boss as well. Just
like
walk into the building.
What I think it might be going for is that he's not just been invited by Ryusenji, but they're so casual with each other.
Yeah.
But
then again, that's like translation issue. I think there it's not worded very well.
So obviously, I mean, Hatsune is just the receptionist, so she's like, "Yes, sir, right away." And so they're going to D4. Ryusenji's like, "Yeah, I'm going to D4, and I need a co-researcher." And she's just like, "What?" The board has given its approval, and she goes, "Oh, okay," and makes a few taps on the terminal and issues AG with his pass.
Yeah, she's surprised because it actually goes through.
Yeah. So AG feels a bit mature because he has this guest pass in this building with like businessmen and academics, and the guards are now saluting him.
Yeah, because he's gotten it from the boss. It's like a special pass.
Yeah.
But I feel like, that scene in Wayne's World where they're backstage at the Alice Cooper concert and they keep holding up their backstage passes going, backstage pass, showing everybody. I feel like that's what he's doing. Like he's nervous being in there. Like he feels mature, but he's holding up the pass to show everyone.
You know the way we were saying last night, like that there's a fan art section because they want the feel of the world to be sort of like inferred by the fans and things. I need that as artwork now with AG just going up to all
or
the
like
guards.
like
Yes, pass. Yes,
Lilu, like multipass.
That was where I was going next with that. Yeah. He's just going up to the guards. Multipass. Anyway, so yeah, so there's not much else here. So there they go down a corridor, and we learn more about the professor. He's not considered like he doesn't have a title like president or chairman of the board, because professor describes him best. And he's already left the management of the company to his former subordinates.
Yeah, so while he has that position, nobody calls him President Ryosenji.
Yeah.
Or President.
It feels
whatever.
like, like he's left all the management to his former subordinates, so it feels like he's sort of just there as a figurehead.
Yeah, he's in charge, but he's more a researcher than anything.
Yeah.
Although he reads a little bit like Norman Osborn in that respect, because Norman Osborn was top of the company, on the board, but he was doing all the work as well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh God, this could take a turn. Can the Lugamon come out to play? Anyway, so he prefers just being called Professor. And then like AG's just not sure how to deal with the management of such a large company, but he's more comfortable talking to a university professor. And
instead of the big boss.
Yeah. And that's a nice little sort of note that it might be for that very reason, because you put a big title in front of your name and people treat you differently. They feel like they have to talk to you a certain way and they have to act a certain way around you, where if it's just I'm just a professor, they can be more casual and be themselves around you. So I think it's a good, I do like, that's a nice little character beat on Ryu Senji's end, that this is already sort of inferring.
Yeah.
But then so anyway, he tells AG, Ryu Senji tells AG that there's something he wants him to look at, and takes him to another guarded gate. It's like they basically get the airport treatment, where he gets, even though it says it's not an airport style detection gate.
Yeah, and then he doesn't have to go through a metal detector.
No, but he does have to hand over his phone and his tools, and he basically gets body searched to make sure he's not carrying any other sensitive equipment, or
it's a bulkhead sounds a bit odd. It does make me think of like when you walk into somewhere in like Star Trek or something.
Yeah.
As if he's about to walk into the holodeck.
Yeah,
that kind of way.
Yeah. But it's an area isolated from the rest of the DDL building. So we're
Digital.
Yep. So the D4 compartment is it's back the translation's back to saying Abaddon.
Yeah.
Electronics top secret. This is Abaddon Electronics top secret. Like top secret what? Yeah. Is it their top secret, or should there have been another word there?
Top secret research, or
Yeah,
but it reads a bit odd. But
so this is the research that will determine the future of the company, and Ryu Senji goes on to explain its importance. So we learn that the core of the Digital Lab, Abaddon Electronics state-of-the-art research facility is in D4. Then
so it's hanging out in Dublin, huh?
Yeah, Dublin 4.
Tokyo University is in Dublin 4. Yeah,
with Siobhan and
was on.
Yeah.
Her name was actually Hatsune Siobhan.
Hatsune Siobhan. Okay, so for context,
those are in jokes from one of my streams.
that is a running thing from Meg's St. Patrick's Day stream. So
to do with the pronunciation of Irish names, and the website really screwed up the actual pronunciation.
Yeah, one of these BuzzFeed "How Irish Are You" like quizzes, and
it'll give you a completely wrong answer and a very right answer, except in the case of Siobhan and Oisin.
Yeah,
Oisin was on.
No.
And Siobhan Sorry, there's no R in Siobhan.
unless you're in D4, because
yeah, because they pronounce it.
so yeah, so for a bit of further context, the D4 or Dublin 4 is a very posh, high-end,
Hoity-toity.
hoity-toity part of Dublin, Ireland. And because everyone there is basically born with a silver spoon up their arse, the I can't even do the accent now that I'm trying to. I keep defaulting to my posh British accent.
Yeah.
But but basically you add an or into a lot of words, and you drag out out how certain words are said, and they've got a very I'm better than you air about them because I was born into my daddy's money.
Yeah, and like you work in customer service, you've probably talked to a lot of people like them.
Yeah.
You just know who we're talking about,
Yeah. These people exist in every walk of life. D4 heads just happen to be Dublin's.
Yeah, that's why we're laughing about it here, because this is the D4 lab.
Yeah. So Siobhan in D4 would be pronounced as Siobhan. That sort of thing. So there's just a lot of it's just overlapping in community references. So
some of you'll get it, some of you won't. Now you have the context.
Basically, yeah. So if we bring it up in future, you'll know. But anyway, so this state-of-the-art research facility is in the D4. So AG's like, I don't think I'm ready for this, and Ryu Senji asks him, like, is he not into attractions? So like
he's making it sound like it's a theme park.
Yeah. Like, is he gonna walk in and it's gonna be like that vortex thing that we saw the Black Agumon getting sucked into? Is that just going to be contained like a fucking Stargate or something?
Yeah, it could be that he walks into it and it's like a holodeck for all the world, but it's the digital world that we've seen or something. But
yeah, like based on this, I really feel like that part in the trailer where we see Ryu Senji and he's got the brick Digivice with the Betamon coming out of it, right? Or the Madoki Betamon even.
Yeah.
Right, and then he gives AG his Digimon linker. So I feel like he's getting the linker tomorrow in part 3, and I really do think that like by part 5 we're going to have met Lugumon.
Yeah,
I feel like they're
bringing the best boy in the first chapter.
Oh, of course. Well, I mean, maybe not, but I feel like we're getting to the point of this very quickly. They're not dragging this out. I feel like we're going to get to the point very quickly, which is fine as well. Also, what I do appreciate about this chapter as well is, for this portion of the chapter, it doesn't read like a script. This is actually a lot more light novel like.
Yeah.
There's no, there's no points in it where you could look at it and go like square bracket EXT,
yeah, maybe the bit where it says the D4 compartment, but
yeah,
that's about it really.
Yeah, there's
like it walks in, it doesn't read like it doesn't have one for reception.
No,
no,
it doesn't. No,
it's just like he walks in and he goes up to the desk and he does this and he does that.
Yeah,
it's not like
So it is an easier read in that respect. Again, we just come back to, it's always going to just come back to, I wish there was a person translating this and not an algorithm.
Yeah, things would sound a little bit better.
Yeah. But anyway, so so I love this, right? He goes, so I need to read this verbatim.
Yeah.
For this, right? So the core of DDL and AE state-of-the-art research facility is in D4. AG is forced to leave his phone and personal belongings in the hands of a security guard, and he's also subjected to a rigorous body check. Sigh. What is it? Ryu Senji, who passed through the bulkhead gate earlier, looks back at AG. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm ready. What? It's just an experience, is all. Are you not into attractions? Huh? You mean the fun kind? Well, it's not like we're genetically engineering dinosaurs or researching the zombie virus. Well, that would be pretty interesting, though. Relaxed by Ryu Senji's joke, AG passes through the D4 gate. Jurassic Park and Resident Evil just got referenced in
Yeah.
this. Jurassic Park and Resident Evil, like the two.
Biohazard.
Yeah, sorry, Biohazard. Yeah, you're right. No, yeah. No, that is absolutely fair. So Jurassic Park and Biohazard just got referenced here, and I popped. That is great. Like that is great. I enjoy that
fun.
a lot. Yeah.
And it makes Ryusenji then seem again a bit more of a casual person instead of a big scary boss.
Yeah, because he's just made weird pop culture references, and AG being somebody who works on the internet, lives in it in a better sense than most people live on the internet in our world.
Yeah.
Would Captain America that and go, I understood that reference.
Yeah.
And then he sort of mellows out and sort of lightens up a bit. And then it just ends with, and inside is, and that's where we finish off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, overall, it's not a portion of this first chapter to write home about. It's not particularly exciting.
Yeah, it's just he walks in the door, he has an appointment, can't get into his appointment, texts the guy brings him upstairs.
Yeah, and the receptionist in all of this is left going, what just happened?
Yeah.
And like, I think I don't know, like I really do like Hatsune's just skepticism about everything in this.
Like, she's not in it for more than 2 sentences, but she's a great character already. I don't know if she even comes back to it.
Oh, I'd love her to be a recurring character. The fact that they
give her a name instead of just
the receptionist.
Yeah, that implies that she might be a recurring character.
Yeah, and he made a point of like, oh, she has a cute voice.
Yeah,
like that's so it makes me feel like we will be seeing her. Maybe not regularly, but she will be recurring enough.
But if he's become a co-researcher in this place, then he's going to have to go back and forth in that building. So
yeah, so maybe we'll see there. Maybe we'll see a relation. It doesn't have to be like a romantic relationship. So when I say relationship, I just mean like a platonic or a working relationship, or
or even he just walks in and winks at her, and she's just like, oh, the kid again.
Yeah,
you know, just something simple. Something. Like that.
Yeah, actually, I think I'd be down for that because. It's tropey, but it's harmless enough that it's not on the creepy end of where like,
because he's a cocky kid and she's probably
like prim and proper.
Yeah, and she's probably a bit older as well. Like,
oh yeah,
like probably like 25, between 25, 30, depending on what she had to do to get that job, how many years in college, or if she does anything else aside from receptionisting.
Yeah. So I do. I like that a lot. I like that idea a lot, that like she is like this, as you say, this 25 to 30-year-old, and this 19-year-old kid has just waltzed in and has now been calling her Chan and winking at her.
Yeah.
Like, it's not creepy. It's just stupid kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Like,
and then as they're
like,
oh, they think they're on top of the world.
Yeah, they think
I remember being 19.
Every woman wants them, and especially when they're a confident one. Like,
oh god, do you remember when we were in town the other day, and I can tell this story because
we don't know those people.
No, we don't know those people, so I can tell this story. So so myself and Meg, we were in the city the other day, and we walked by this group of friends who were chatting, and they were talking loud enough that you didn't have to pay attention to what they were saying.
It wasn't eavesdropping; they were just in your ear.
Yeah. So one of the girls says, "Oh yeah, so he added all 3 of us to the group chat and asked all 3 of us one by one to be his girlfriend," and I just went, "A, that takes balls. B, you fucking moron."
Yeah.
Like, what was he expecting? That they would try and one-up each other and like, oh no, I love you more.
Yeah, or no, I'm better than her because you should choose me. And realistically, they probably all went,
ew.
They probably just went, ew, and just blocked him.
And I hope that's what happened.
Yeah.
But it's, so when I say that takes balls, right, I'm not propping the guy up for doing it. But it's relaying back to what we're saying is it is the brazenness of youth.
Yeah.
At 17, 18, 19, like we all think we're on top of the world.
You know everything.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know everything.
You have
Then you hit
you've
your
nothing
20s
left.
to realize you know nothing.
Yeah, you've nothing left to learn, you know, and then
Yeah.
and then you go into your 20s and you're in quote unquote the real world, and you go, oh God, no, I took everything for granted.
I don't even know how to boil an egg.
Yeah. Mommy. So yeah, no, you know, so I would be on board for something like that, as long as it doesn't be like, it isn't just this one note joke. Like, these two have to sort of get to know each, not get, well, not even, maybe not get, you know, build a camaraderie.
Get more comfortable with each other.
Yeah, build a camaraderie, become friends, and then you see that behavior sort of disappear because he's no longer teasing her.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or she's no longer rolling her eyes to the heavens at the very sight of him.
Yeah, she's not.
It's not
twitching,
like
she's not twitching her temples at him.
It's not like it's not like I like you or anything, baka.
But she really doesn't.
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
And she shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she
Unless
shouldn't.
they tell us she's also like 19, then.
Then you've some wiggle room to play with.
But I would rather him not be.
No, yeah.
Well, she's like the first woman who's come into it, isn't she? So.
Yeah, we haven't met the coppers yet. So.
Yeah. So like we know what they look like or whatever. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I hope he just doesn't have a romantic relationship with every woman in the series, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Digimon doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And I know this is a different way of doing Digimon storytelling. And it's literally it's a novelization, so it's in some ways literal fan fiction, canonical fan fiction. But Digimon as a franchise doesn't really do that.
It doesn't really do romance.
No. So I don't see it happening. I can see it being more in line with what we've been talking about, where it's more
like
of this
work kind of thing,
the comedy segment of you know, every now and then. But yeah, I can't imagine like he's going to be now, unless he pulls this with everyone. Like when we meet the Jill Valentine copper, and he's the same way, or we meet the one that rides around on Numamon and has a Numamon pin.
Then I can see it going where he's flirting kind of with all of them,
and then it'll
they
get
put
annoying.
him in his place.
Yeah, I'll be on board for that if that happens, because.
But if he's just flirting with all of them and they're all like, "Ooh,
Kingslayer," maybe not that one.
Yeah, if they're all kind of like, you know, like if she was twitching her temples because she was flustered because, oh, cute kid said something nice, you know.
Yeah.
I hope it's not that. I hope it's going the way we think it is.
Yeah. No, that is a lot more fun that way.
Yeah.
There is a. I just want to get people's names.
Translate there?
You want to translate Leon's name there? No? Alright, so it's not translating the officers' names. That's so weird. They must
be pictures rather than
yeah, that might be why. But still, you would think he would have the English versions of the image.
Yeah.
Like ready to load in.
You'd think
like,
so.
The images should be geo responsive. Like, cause why isn't Eiji's name?
Yeah, maybe it just there.
Oh, there we go.
Leon Alexander.
And then we have Shu Yu Lin and Satsuki Takahime. Tamahime, you're right. Yeah. So
Satsuki. I like that name.
Yeah, Satsuki's a great name.
Totoro. That's why I like that name.
But yeah, like if he starts pulling this with these two.
Well, Shu Yulin is definitely gonna put him in his place.
Oh, she'll kick his ass, and
She's gonna be like, what's her name? Is it? In Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh,
the Halo chick was played by the teacher from Glee.
Yeah, yeah.
Is she from Glee?
Yes.
Yeah. Her. That's the vibe I'm getting from her.
Yeah. I get you. Jeez, I need to watch that movie again. It's such a good movie. But second one's awful.
Yeah.
Oh, second Wreck-It Ralph's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it is. We don't speak it.
No.
Then question mark.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Like overall, like it's see, these things are this is hard to rate.
Mm.
Because like nothing happens in this in this like 1-2,
Yeah.
but it's still very enjoyable. Like I like the vibe of Ryusenji already, but I also wouldn't be shocked if he turns out to be like suspicious AF later on.
Yeah, like you can read it your own way as well. That's the joy of it being a novel. Like you could be reading it in a different tone than I am, and then we like,
Yeah,
you know, like his joke could have come off real awkward or something, you know. But it, you know, it's fun to read it, like, and then discuss it, what we think it's trying to say or the vibe it's trying to give off, and kind of work towards what we think it is.
Definitely. So let me take this image down finally, because like we're done with it. Aberdeen Electronics, not Aberdeen.
Bad in electronics.
Yeah. I do wonder, like, yeah, well, that's the other thing. Like, is that a hint towards like a Badomon? Are they going to like is like, I'm not going to try and plan out like the quote unquote final boss of this just yet.
We don't even know how it's working yet.
No, but that could be some delicate foreshadowing.
Yeah, it could.
So it might not be, and again, Digimon doesn't really like reusing final bosses from stuff it's done before. They tend to just show up as monsters of the week, or Lucemon, or Millenniummon, who just got turned into a paperweight. But yeah, no, it's, you know,
we're so bad at keeping these at half an hour.
Oh, I know, but you know, we chat and there's tangent and. But yeah,
tangent the podcast,
exactly. But yeah, I don't really. So like it's because it's not the full chapter. I can't really rate it.
Yeah, that's what we were saying yesterday.
Yeah,
like there's no way to really rate the bits of the chapter until we have the whole lot.
But I really do like Hatsune and Ryusenji. I mean, he gives good vibes. I like the Jurassic Park and the Biohazard references, obviously enough. But if he turns out to be like suspicious AF later on, I'm not going to be too shocked either.
Yeah, because he is head of company and they're usually the villain.
Yeah. He's also head of company that doesn't want you to treat him like head of the company.
Yeah.
And that's always a red flag.
Yeah.
You know, that is I'll gain your trust so I can bend you over later.
Yeah.
So but we'll see. Yeah. So
you said you were taking that down.
I am. I'm gonna take that down now, just because we got talking about the Abaddon thing.
Yeah.
I do like the data virus and vaccine stuff being referenced. So he's obviously studying Digimon. And I think that's where this is going. We've seen the Digimon dock, which is like the VPET with all the hazard things around it.
Yeah.
Like that was on display at one of the museums recently.
Oh, okay.
And no one knew what it was. We all thought it was just a prototype VPET. Because it even has like because it's bigger than a standard VPET block.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got those black and yellow hazard lines around the screen.
Yeah.
But there's like this metal plate on it as well, and it's got this engraving that says like Digi P001. Unfortunately, the font makes it look like it says Digipoo. That is an unfortunate font choice, but it's been shown in the trailer for this as the when it was on display, it was called the Digimon dock. So we don't have a context for what that means yet, but it's good to see that that'll be in this. So I feel like we're going to see that. I feel like the dock is the big project.
Yeah.
And then he'll get his Digimon linker tomorrow, if not maybe Thursday.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if if the rest of the week we're just following these two in D4.
Yeah.
Like the next 2 pages are, because that's what we're getting.
It just depends on what's inside.
Yeah. But I feel like these next 2 or 3 pages, which will cover Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I wouldn't be too shocked if it's just these two chatting and we're getting lore and exposition. And I'd be happy with that because if we can just set up what the point of this is early enough.
Yeah.
And then just do all the Digimoning then from chapter 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, get the descriptions out of the way and then we'll know what we're dealing with for the rest of it.
Exactly, yeah. So I wouldn't be, then again, the CG video for this chapter has Yulin Satsuki in it. It has a very crazy CG Leon.
Yeah.
And we have Lugumon evolving.
Yeah.
So
God knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah, so like this, we're getting a chapter every day. I don't know if that includes Saturday and Sunday. Was it the 3rd to the 10th or something? We're meant.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So the 10th brings us up to that's the following Monday. Yeah, and then it goes weekly. So chapter 2 will be the 17th, the 24th, and blah blah blah. Okay, so yeah, by Monday, Lugumon could be evolving.
Yeah.
And we'll have
met the trailer. It'd be weird to put that in the trailer and not have it happening.
We also get to meet Cargo Dramon, and I'm excited for that. I like Cargo Dramon. He's great. Honestly, I've said it before. My absolute favorite design since Metal Greymon 2010. And I love Metal Greymon 2010's design. I know people hate it because it's not classic Metal Greymon, but I'm like, no, this is what this is what a fully realized Metal Greymon should look like. Just a fucking war machine. I'm sorry, no, I love it so much. And Cargo Dramon just being a big stupid helicopter with a dagger chin.
I'll never get over that chin.
No, I'm sorry. I love it. I love it so much. I really do. I look forward to being able to raise one on the Lugumon Dim.
Yeah. You get all his little animations.
Yeah,
that'll be cute.
Because there's on the Lugumon Dim, like the evolution chart, there's a perfect level that's hidden, and I think I would be completely sure it's Cargo Dramon.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want one. Yeah, no, I think that's everything. We don't. Not a whole lot to go on.
Yeah, we actually talked a lot longer than I thought we would about this chapter.
Yeah, for a chapter where nothing happens, we'd a lot to say, but we do have it. We do again, like we do just chatter on and ramble. So
yeah.
So I should discuss 1-3. What way? I mean, we'll do it live, pal. Not literally live. That defeats the point of these pre-recorded shows. But actually, no, because there's construction work going on in the house tomorrow.
Yeah,
that might go all day, but
it might. I feel like it'll only go till about.
Yeah, so we should, in theory, be okay to record for 1-3 around this time tomorrow, but just don't be surprised if it gets pushed out to Thursday morning. Just giving you a heads up on that. We might have to, record these the following morning just because of our schedules and my work hours. So 1-3. Yeah, that might be a Thursday morning thing, and then 1-4 will be Friday, 1-5 Saturday, 1-6 Sunday, 1-7 Monday, 1-8 Tuesday, and then it's weekly.
And then it's weekly, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. So, but these first 2 episodes, I felt like we should do as early as possible because it's new and we
all want to get our thoughts out on it.
Exactly. But
were there any comments on the last?
I don't believe so. I double check that now. I did.
Well, there wasn't really because it was a premiere. So
yeah. No. Oh yeah. Like anyone who was in the chat last night for the premiere. Thank you so much for coming out for that. We really do appreciate it. Going forward, these will not be premieres just because, again, of the time restraints in between.
We have to actually be there to be in the live chat as well, which again defeats the purpose of pre-recording it.
Yeah, but also because of my my working hours and Meg's schedules and such like that, it's just not. The first one was a special case.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming out for that and sharing your thoughts on it as we chatted. So
yeah, so share your comments, share your thoughts in the comments,
and we'll
we can
read them out as we go.
One. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, look, yeah, like and subscribe. Links down below. Follow us on the things, and we will. I need to change that Twitter image. It's not the Code Crown anymore.
Oh, it's not the Code Crown anymore. No,
it's Code Crown Pod. So I need to update that.
Oops.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Blame Twitter for that one.
Yeah, they never came back to me about my appeal.
Our podcast page.
Yeah, they just ignored my appeal. So
yeah,
to hell with Muskie. But anyway, we'll see you all soon. Much love to you all, and we'll see you Thursday morning. Or maybe for chapter 1-3. Much love. Take care. We'll see you all again, and bye.
Bye.